So you can see here, Indian, we have the Professor Jolly Roy, who are advocating in the sports psychology. Okay. If you'd like to join us, do go to our website. Today, I will be going through a little bit on concept of how we were able to use music, and then how we were able to apply music before, during, and after in sports. Okay. Then I will give you a simple conclusion on how we were able to use music more effectively. Okay, so why? You might wonder why so many interventions available. You can do mindfulness, you can do yoga, you can use many interventions. Why use music? Let me quickly bring you to a quote by Maria von Trapp. She's the first music therapist, and she said that music act like a magic key to which the most tightly closed heart will open. What does she means? So, according to Maria von Trapp, even though we do not know each other, even though we are far apart, you're in India, I'm in Malaysia, I just came back from India and New Delhi, as long we listen to the same music, as long we listen to the same music, we have this connection together. And then with that connection, even a person with so tightly closed heart will open up to share and to discuss, to relax, and able to get what we call the ergogenic effects of music. Meaning, it is a legal drug. It is ergogenic. So, in fact, the role of music in our daily life, we use many musics, right? We use loud music for dance. We also use national anthems, especially for athletes, to regulate their patriotisms, to understand that they are going for their country. We set music for movement as well, like, for example, military music. And if you go for any fitness classes, there's music there, because our study from USM actually shows that by using any type of music in any fitness class, as long you use music, it will enhance from 8 to 10% of their rating of perceived exertion. But if you actually select the right type of music, it will enhance from 10 to 12% of the rating of perceived exertion, RPE. So that's why you will see that any fitness class, you will find yourself exercise together with music, because you will gain that 8 to 10% of performance enhancement. Well, similarly, if you walk into a nice shopping mall, okay, you see that Gucci bag, that's beautiful bag, you will quickly buy it, right? Because of that nice ambient environment, that music that give you the emotion, you like that Gucci bag. And then afterwards, you go back, you see that Gucci bag in your drawer without music, you regret it. And then you like to return it, right? Because without music. In fact, let me tell you that music is part of our human natures. Our body responds naturally to our breath, our movement, every time movement, and even our heartbeat as well. So when we use the right type of music, it will help us to enhance sporting performance, like increase your perception to flow state. It enhances your positive mood response. It increases your exercise duration as well. So you can see from here, this slide, that there are athletes in 2014, they just warm up after go for a run and then just a post run. But for 2024, today, you will see that most of your athletes, in fact, every single of your athletes will select a music. They will turn on their running app, they turn on their GPS, they turn on their beautiful music, and then they go for exercise. And then they like to take selfie, update in their Instagram, update in their Facebook, so that they're able to show people that they are doing a lot of training, right? Let me submit to you that in today, 2024, in fact, most of your athletes will be using music as well. Then the question is, are they using the right type of music? If they are not using the right type of music, they might have deliberating effects whereby they could not even enhance performance, but they might actually decrease their performance. Well, study has shows that music can be carefully selected to match the requirement of the activities, both in individuals and groups, for performance enhancement. In fact, our study shows that the right type of music can lead to greater frequency, intensity, and duration of sports and even exercise behavior, which could lead to enhancing motivation in sports. Why music? What are the benefits of using music? Well, music enters to our brain through this emotional region, which includes your temporal lobe, which is your long-term memory. Okay, so it tends to produce this frontal lobe response that influence how your will, your moral value, your body reflex, and even your reasoning power. Okay, so if I say something like Mary had a leader, you know it's a lamb, right? Why? I did not say it's a lamb. It can be Mary had a leader cat. I don't know. It can be a Mary had a leader a chicken, right? But why everyone know it's a lamb, right? Because it gets through your long-term memory, store in your long-term memory, and we were taught of Mary had a little lamb. So it very easily, when we get tense, when we get stressed, when we sometimes feel depressed, when we listen to the right type of music, it straight away change your mood, it straight away change your flow state, it straight away get into your emotional regions, and then it will also helps your performance. However, according to Australian Music Therapy Association, depending on type of music you use in sports, it can either influence your brain beneficially or even detrimentally as well. So, if you did not select the right music, it might even influence your performance detrimentally also. Let me quickly go through. This is a study by the Global Community Health, talking about 22,000 data on across 11 countries by Professor Kale Ding in US and together with our Global Community Health. And you can see that during this COVID-19 pandemic lockdown, all 11 countries had significant anxiety score, depression score increased significantly. Let me show you a good news. By using music, it can help work output synchronization, it can increase your mood and affective state, it can help in enjoyment level, it can help in physical activity, and also reduce the rate of perceived exertion. So let's use music. So quickly, how can we select the right music? How? Let me go through with you a little bit of the music elements. There are 5 music elements, which is melody, harmony, rhythm, tempo, and dynamics. When we talk about melody, it is the theme of the music that we sing. Mary had a little lamb, right? But when we talk about harmony, it is the shape of the music. So we can sing, Mary had a little lamb with a very happy mood and also very sad. Mary don't have a little lamb, right? So it is the harmony that makes the shape of the music. Then we have this rhythm that we can actually place in a 4/4 time, 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe we want to play in a 3/4 time, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like a dance, right? So that music will have the rhythm to help you to move in time. Both elements will be on the tempo. Tempo is the speed of the music. For example, you want to play the tempo in a fast 150 beats per minute for aerobic dancing, or you want to play in maybe slower tempo, like 70 beats per minute on relaxations, right? So different tempo, different work output as well. And then we come to the dynamics, another important element, the volume of the music play. If the volume of the music is loud, very, very loud, people will tend to shut off, right? People will not listen. But if the tempo of, if the dynamics of the music becomes so soft, and then you could not listen, you get tired, sleepy, and it can in a hypnosis mood as well. So you need to regulate the dynamics according to listen condition. Okay, so we come up with this model with Professor Kara Georges talking about how the antecedents, moderators, and also consequence of music used in exercise and sports. We come up with this model by how do we select the right type of music. So first of all, you will find the musical factors like intrinsic factors and extrinsic factors. Intrinsic factors can be whether you like or dislike that music. Extrinsic factors can be cultural associations and maybe the musical idioms. For example, you are in Indian, okay, your music might be not too suitable for maybe a Chinese, right? But maybe it's suitable for Malaysian because Malaysian do like Bollywood music as well. So it has some cultural association. It can be positive, it can also negative as well. Next, we come to the moderators. What are the moderators of selecting music? It will be the personal factors like age. So the elderly person might listen to oldies music. Okay, female athletes might like to listen to a softer music, and a male athletes might like to listen to louder beats music. That is personal factors, right? And then what are also the moderators can be in situational factors, such as environmental or task related. So we want to know that when do you want to use music? Why you want to use music? It is for running, okay, for synchronized with movement, or maybe you want to use for motivation. So to motivate you to run longer, to not get fatigues, okay? Or maybe you want to get more enjoyment mood, right? So all this will be the situation of listening to music, okay? By selecting the antecedents and the moderators, the consequences will be the output, which are the psychophysiological, the behavioral, and psychological affective state of getting the positive impact of listening to music. So it can mix you to a flow state, it can get you to a more happy moods, get better imagery, reduce rating of perceived exertion, enhancing your work output, or even getting more positive energy efficiency. Okay, so by selecting the right music, you can just use this model talking about the antecedent, moderators, and consequences. Well, maybe you like to use a simple way to select music. You can also use the Brunel Music Rating Inventory 3. This is the number 3rd version, whereby, for example, you want to use music for running. So the rhythm of the music, the style of music, the melody of music would motivate me during running, okay? So if that music excerpt is strongly agree from here, most probably it might have effects and it will give you positive effects. Of course, if an athlete selects strongly disagree there, we probably do not want to use that music, right? Okay, next one, you can also use the neuropsychophysiological measure. In our lab, we use a lot of EEG, whereby we can see the alpha wave and the sigma wave, whether that music actually enhance regulations or maybe give you more beta wave where you want to get more relaxation. So it depends on the functions, we were able to measure the music according to the output. Well, in our case study, you can find that Elena is world number 2 shooters. You can see from here, longer, after 4 sessions, she was able to have a stronger respiratory, whereby you have a window gap of 12 seconds before shooting, right? So we are trying to train young athletes that are able to get longer periods, stabilizations, and without breathing, and then they were able to shoot better. Where you can select music according to different training sessions. For example, for mental preparation, for stretching, you can use a lower tempo, and then you are using from endurance or strength training, 130 or 150 BPMs, beats per minute. And then when you cool down, rest piece, you were able to reduce the tempo again. So you can select according to the tempo. Well, Professor Jolly Roy and I, we came up with this model called the demand challenge and also resources and skill. We can also select music using the flow model, whereby, for example, if a person have a sufficient demand and challenge and have the sufficient resources and skill available, meaning that they will get into their flow state better, they will get more enjoyment rather than tired or fatigue. So by selecting the music that is according to their flow state, they were able to enjoy that music better. Well, you can see in our study in the mindfulness acceptance commitment for the Malaysian elite athletes, talking on how we were able to use the MAC approach as well. And you can see our legends using music, Michael Phelps, even Camarco Joel are using music as well. Let me quickly go through with you some of our research talking about how we can able to use music before, during, and after sporting performance. Let's go to pre-task music, which is before exercise, okay? Normally, pre-task music, we want to conduct an imagery, right? Imagery before the sporting performance. So you can see in our study on the effect of music on the elite shooters. And you can see that unfamiliar relaxing music is actually more relaxing for them. Likewise, by using relaxing music for the dart thrower during imagery training, also found that more relaxing. And also their performance found that also more significant higher compared to arousing music or no music condition. Well, if we work with the shooters and also the weightlifters, which is the weightlifters are also very highly aroused, but you can find that relaxing music actually better for them to conduct imagery before the competition as well. Okay, so you might ask, what about during competition, during exercise, in-task music? Of course, during competition, you cannot listen to music, right? You cannot put your earphone there and run, right? It is very dangerous. And in fact, that it is okay as well, because that music, you remember, it bypass the frontal lobe response. It helps you to better regulates use of music. So our study in USM talks about the running in the heat by using synchronous music, running in the hot and humid condition. And you can find that by using synchronous music, it will able to enhance their performance as well. So this is, we use the halogen lamp to heat up the room, so that in Malaysia, they have a similar acclimatization outside in running in the heat. So you can see from here. Okay. Aries beat, run the right leg same as the beat. So it's synchronous with the music. Okay. So you can see that by using synchronous music compared to no music condition, it has significant effect starting just from after 15 minutes all the way to exhaustions. It has significant effect compared to no music conditions. What does it mean? That by using synchronous music, you have 12% of enhancement in your performance rate as well. Okay, so the result also shows that the time to exhaustions on synchronous music were significantly higher compared to no music conditions. And the participants feel that running with music is better. Finally, I just show you the post-task music after exercise. Okay, how do we use music after exercise? Well, we have three conditions. We have a slow sedative music condition and fast simulative music and no music condition. You can find that after 30 minutes of active recovery during active running, after running, then we have the active recovery by using sedative slow music. It has significant effect compared to the control conditions and also the simulative condition, meaning that you were able to use slower music to reduce the heart rate, to get back to their recovery state faster. Okay. Well, you might ask, what about using music for physical activity? So you just listened to an excellent lecture by Professor Min Kai Chin just now, right? Wow, I was so amazed with his work. Always very fancy on his very impactful work. Well, we also use music together, collaborating with the global community health as well. And I'm also part of the future leaders as well, using music. So we have this study whereby designing physical education course based on musical environment, using spinning as an environment, and by using music, you can see that music condition able to help them to synchronize with the physical educations better. Okay, so you can also use music as well. Well, we also use brain breaks and brain breaks music as well. Why we do use brain breaks? We want to challenge the orthodox idea. Well, exercise must be done outdoor. No, it can also done indoor as well, right? And in fact, brain breaks, you only use internet, you were able to connect. And I hope that everyone here hopefully able to ask your university, ask your school, ask your community to try to use brain break, sign in, and then you were able to use that as well. Okay. In our study in USM, we received the ethical approval to conduct the study, and we able to go to the log into the http brainbreaks.com, and then you will find a lot of very interesting videos there, over 500 videos available. You can see some of our study in Malaysia, and we published this study at the Bright Sports Physical Activity Investment that works implementing brain breaks in Malaysia primary school. This is published at highest impact journal in sports science at the British Journal of Sports Medicine. And we also continue a lot of work using music and brain breaks for the type 2 diabetes patients, understanding their motives to physical activity, their exercise durations as well. Okay, let me finish with my slide. So our studies, some of the awards from breaks, and yeah, you can use music, of course, for the special kids educations as well. And we use that, and we also use music for driving in a simulator. And this study actually received the best journal publications in Q1 high impact journal as well. Okay, so in summary, if you're using music for any activities, try to use it correctly. Okay, use the model, use the elements, select the music according to what are your antecedents, and then your outputs will be there as well. Okay, if you want to read more, you can go to our book chapter and music in sports from conceptual underpinning to applications, whereby this is a sports psychology free textbook. Nothing's free in the world. This textbook is free. You can just download this. You just need to write my name and music in sport. You will find this manuscript available for free. Okay. I'd like to show you some of their work with our Malaysian Paralympic. So I like to use music for applications as well. So to conclude, I also like to acknowledge my team in USM. And anyone like to join a PhD with us, do contact me as well. So we always work very hard and we also play hard as well. We go mountain climbing, we go rock climbing, etc., and team building, etc. Okay, with that, I would like to end with a quote from myself. Be the change you wish to see. Well, your action speak louder than words. Your collaborations today will fuel the progress. Your collaboration with GCH today will see the progress starting to have some success. And your passion will drive what? Your passions to do things will drive you to success. So embody excellence, inspire others, and watch your impacts create the wave for prominence. And I hope that through this conference, everyone, I would like to wish you success and also a good health as well. Continue your passions to be excellent and to share sports science to your community. Thank you very much, and thank you to the organizer again.
Thank you, sir, for your detailed deliberations. Now I would like to call upon Professor Rakhi Malhotra to carry on the further proceedings.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our second technical session of oral presentation for the very first international conference on health, fitness, yoga, and sports science organized by Department of Physical Education and Sports Science in collaboration with Global Community Health USA. We are honored to have such a distinguished group of eminent professors and delegates joining us. Today's event promises an engaging and enlightening experience for all of us. On this occasion, I would like to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Ming Kai Chen, founder and president, Foundation for Global Community Health, founding and immediate past president, BRICS Council of Exercise and Sports Science. On this occasion, it gives me a great pleasure to introduce the chairperson for today's technical session. I present our first chairperson, Dr. Gitanjali Andotra, Principal, GDC Ramgarh, Samba, former Dean of School of Humanities and Liberal Arts. She is a role model and inspiration to all the young people, including me. On behalf of GDC Kathua, I welcome you, ma'am. We are highly delighted to have you among us, and thank you for sparing your precious time. I further would like to extend my warm greeting to our second chairperson, Dr. Sujata Salathia, Principal, GDC Gagwal, Samba, one of the most talented, humble, and noble personality I ever knew. I welcome you, ma'am. Our co-chairperson, being a support coordinator of Cluster University of Jammu, who is also physical director of GGM Science College, conducted intercollegiate tournaments of various games and support, organized the coaching camp in connection with participation at All India North Zone Inter-University Competition. I extend my warm wishes and welcome. Now next, I further would like to welcome our highly esteemed professor, Dr. S.K. Karlupia, HOD Zoology, and eminent and dignified professor, R.K. Pandita, HOD Zoology. We are honored. Now, let's open our mind and heart to new ideas as we come together to learn new facts and share knowledge. Let's all work together to create a welcoming and inclusive environment where all voices are heard and respected. I would like to welcome our first speaker, Dr. Archana, Assistant Professor Home Science, to please share her views with us. Thank you.